And we're live. Just quickly checking you can hear me nice and clearly because somebody didn't plug their microphone in, and I'm just going to keep an eye on the chat on the left hand side. So I'm going to assume that's working. And on that note, find me cuppa. Good morning. Welcome to today's RC Coffee Chat. And apologies, I was looking up there and not over there at you. So yeah, if you can hear me nice and clearly, please do let me know in the chat on the left-hand side. A straightforward yay would be adequate. And yes, you may spot the Wombat over there on the left-hand side. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Let's have a quick slurp. Right, on to today's topics. We have Cobra motors. Special little note around those. If the wife asks, I didn't buy it. The Clouds Maiden, one of the big topics for today. And there was another topic which is gone out of my... what was I going to cover? I don't know. If I remember, we'll cover it. Apologies, I'm running a little bit late this morning. I have been up since 3:20 this morning, and I had a nice big long lie-in. And yes, Jeff, loud and British. The only way to go. Right, on that note, Cobra motors. Now, I ordered, and there's links in the video descriptions to these. I bought some of these. I bought the big motor for the 48 off Innovative Designs or whatever they were called, and I got slapped with £15 import tax on it, which was a bit frustrating. To say the least, so I thought I'd have a punt at AliExpress, and all I can say is absolutely wow. Bought 3 motors. I bought, what did I buy? Let's have a quick look. 22218 1860 kV, and I think I bought 2 of the smaller ones. I can't remember now. 281410 1700 kV. And what was the one I stuck on there? Oh yeah, 281410. So I bought 3 motors off AliExpress, by the looks of it, direct from the manufacturer. They even included photos of the items in the box and a photograph of my box as well. I was super impressed. And then I was impressed some more because it turned up here to me via FedEx. I won't tell you what the declared value was, but it wasn't a lot. Yeah, it was here in like 4 days. Not even that. It only felt like a couple of days ago I was having to nick the missus's card to pay for it. And yes, I've lost another card. I've done, well, last year I did 4. You know what it is. Anyway, coming back onto the topic. Yeah, the Cobra motors. Yeah, super impressed with their not only their communication, but also the speed in which it got here, and they were all perfectly packed, and they also included some Cobra stickers as well. So I'm a very happy man. I'm a very happy man. In fact, actually thinking out loud, I was thinking about this yesterday. You know, with the run cams and the FPV cameras, they've gone to all the expense of making all those pretty boxes and packaging everything in the little bags and stuff for the unboxing experience. Why don't they just include some stickers? Wouldn't that be better value, like marketing wise? Because I'm quite happy to stick a Cobra motor, especially on my Wombat. I'll stick it underneath so it doesn't detract from the Wombat sticker on the opposite side. But on a serious point, why didn't Runcam include some stickers? Because I don't think any of us would be opposed to sticking a Runcam sticker on their model, and it would be better value and better advertising for them. I don't know. And I am trying to... Yeah, death and taxes guaranteed. Meet Joe Black. That's where that phrase come from, or where it reminded me of. So, yeah, Cobra motors. I've put links to these in the video description. Neither of them are affiliate links. I just felt that it was fantastic service, and the pricing was the same as the other place. It did also include free shipping as well. And you get everything which you see in here. And one thing to note about these Cobra motors is, let me just pull this one out so you can see it, is just look at the size of the bearing. Come on, focus you. Come on. Look at the size on the bearing on the back of there. It's absolutely massive. And the bearing, which you probably won't be able to see in there, I'm moving that around slowly, is absolutely massive. And they've even put additional light oil on the back as well. Yeah, Cobra motors, absolutely bonkers. Jeff, do them as giveaways. Like, put them in bags of 5. Because they're like, I've not seen a run cam sticker, and I really would like wish that they did less on the packaging. And again, if we put ourselves in the shoes of the manufacturer, the unboxing experience, which, sorry, I haven't got a run cam box to hand, there's some over there. Nice, pretty little boxes and everything, and great time and energy was obviously spent on the design of those boxes. But sticking my marketing hat and sticking your marketing hat on, wouldn't it make more sense to include some stickers with them so that they end up going on one or more models as well, so that the other people on the flight line see that you're running a run cam? And again, I know there's going to be a bright orange object on the front of the plane, but you don't always take photographs of that and so on and so forth. But nice big run cam sticker. Happy days. Happy days. And I am trying to keep up with the chat in the background. I agree with you, that comment there, Jeff. So if I miss your chat in the background, I do apologise. I'm trying to focus on today's RC Coffee chat. Right, so Cobra Motors, super impressed. Come extremely well packed, and the amount of packaging which they put around that box was just crazy. And like I said, here within a matter of days, super impressed. I would not hesitate buying from them again, without a shadow of a doubt. So that was the Cobra Motors. Oh, on the topic of Cobra Motors, ta-da-da, I can see Shane and Heather have been rather busy with their, with their Wombats. Now, they are running the prototypes the same as what Jeff has got. It's a slightly wider, but as far as I can tell, comparing it to my one. Might want to turn the microphone down. My Wombat! Is the space in between here is wider, and what was the other thing which I noticed? Oh yeah, they got rounded fuses as well. Now, to be honest, I quite like my square fuse more than the rounded one. The rounded one looks, frankly, like an accident waiting to happen. So I do much prefer mine like this. It definitely does suit my intended flying style. Now, on the topic of the Wombat, we do have, put it around that way, move that like that. We now have, I think it's the 2814 up there. Yeah, the 2814 10 1700 kV with a 7x5, a 7x4E prop on the back, which according to the specifications should give us about 1.7 kilograms of thrust. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The little D28 26 2200 kV motor, which I was running on it before. Yeah, somebody had that in that 4S wing once before, and we all saw what happened to that. And if you don't, you need to go back and look up wing on the YouTube channel, and you will see that yeah, we had an unscheduled landing with that one. Anyway, the bearings were completely shot, so decided to actually get a decent quality motor for the Wombat, and yeah, we take her out for her Maiden today with a nice big motor and a nice big propeller on it. And as you might tell, I really do like speed. So hopefully it's a lot faster today, and I have no idea if that ESC is going to cope with that amount of current or not, because there's no branding or anything on it. But if it comes down in flames, well, we go down in flames. Brilliant, excellent video footage. Brilliant. Next topic. If the wife asks, I didn't buy it. And yes, sorry, Nabil, and those of you which said didn't buy it. I couldn't help it. Yeah. This will be my first fighter jet. And I'm going to set it up as with a normal motor in it rather than a ducted fan. I do have ducted fans here. I've got huge 90mm one, which is earmarked for hyperdrive. For one of the Texumos, but yeah, I've gone for one of these. It's definitely not suitable to the normal flying site, but it will be the club day kind of thing. It does look kind of cool, and again, the reason why I bought it is just straightforward. We'll stick it in as a review, and secondly, I don't own a fighter jet, so we'll see what they're like. To be honest, I think it's going to be rather noisy. if I'm honest. And the reason why I'm thinking it's rather noisy is because if we zoom in, and apologies, you can't see that. Let me move that over that way a touch. Yeah, if we zoom in a little bit there, look at the amount of foam which that propeller has, the airflow has to hit on the way out. So very, very curious. And I can see there's quite a good conversation going on in the background about the Wombat and yes, and Cobra motors. So anyway, if the wife asks, I didn't buy that one at all. Just if it turns up here, I will tell her it's for review. Which part of it's for review, the other part is that I really wanted a fighter jet looking model and see what it's like in the sky. So yeah, and apparently you can get a whacking great big battery in it as well, which also took my attention. Scroll down, what are they saying in here? Oh yeah, look, 2200 3S. I wonder if that fits. No idea. Got plenty of motors on the back here to stick on it, and should be fun if it lasts a flight or two. Who knows? Should be a good laugh. Anyway, I've put a link to that one in the video description. Right, Cobra motors. Yeah, if the wife asks, I didn't buy that one. Right, on to the next topic, which is the major topic for today, which is today is the Cloud's Maiden Day. Now, I do have some photographs. I'm hoping I can pick them out of the Facebook group if I can scroll down. And a shameless plug for the Faceballs group. If you've not already joined, the link to the Facebook group is in the video description. Up on the top right hand side, click the join button. One of us will pick up your join request. And this is very much like the after party for the RC Coffee Chat. So if you have any questions, either for myself or maybe you're stuck with something, that is the group for you to ask a question in. It is extremely active. Even my wife complained to me yesterday that, Matt, you guys are just filling up my Facebook page. And she was complaining about it. Well, of course you're complaining about it. You're missing the passion for the hobby. Whereas that I'm sure for you, it's like, whoa, get in there. And we'll see that Martin has a slight issue with motors. I think he counted them up at 61. Good boy. So yeah, Martin will very shortly be making a vertical takeoff and landing model with about 8 motors on the top and at least a dozen going forwards, and a small nuclear power plant on the back to power them all. I'm just scrolling down to see if I can find... there we go. There is the money shot. Check that out. There she is. And I can tell you I looked like a right plonker on the drive, calibrating the compass with the vector yesterday. Now, I still do have a couple of things to work on this model this morning, but she does look absolutely fantastic. Now, again, I'm going to say a massive hat tip to Aero FPV. He put up his maiden video of this one yesterday, and because of the short stacked fuse, it is a little bit twitchy to say the least. So now after I've watched that a couple of times, his maiden video, and the link to Aero FPV's channel is in the video description for you. Yeah, just watching that maiden was very, very curious, and he was fighting a bit of a crosswind as well on that day. Yeah. Anyway, coming back onto the topic, there she is, and yeah, she's pretty much ready and set up. There is a long list. Let's be brutal here. There is a long list of things which I don't particularly like about this model, and I feel that could be improved. But I am holding back on final judgments until we get her to fly, and today is her maiden day. Yeah, so I'm just catching up. I can see the chat spinning around at the top. Turbo Taylor says, my first plane was a 50mm EDF F22. Good man. Came in like a boss. I hope that went a good landing rather than a unscheduled one. Anyway, coming back onto the clouds. There she is. She looks absolutely fantastic. There she is with her payload, about 30 breeze blocks to carry her. Anyway, quickly run down on the lineup of what we've got. We've got the L9 receiver in the right wing, two X2214, I think they are, 900 kV motors. Those motors were about $28 each. 11x7 propellers. I have been on and calibrated the ESCs and also set the brake on them as well, because they will definitely hit the ground, and I don't want a spinning prop when we're coming in to land. The last thing which I would hate is for one of those pieces to break. I'm sure XUAV have got spares, but that's besides the point. Yeah, we've got the motors on there. Oh yeah, what are the chances? Both motors were spinning in the wrong direction, so we had to get up underneath and swap the ESC leads around yesterday. You'll notice what I've done with the run cam. It is very much protruding from the front. That was not by design, that's just the way it ended up. In the little nose area, I have been and put like a little plywood plate, which is then the bracket is then screwed into, and so on and so forth. I will get some pledge out later and just put a little bit of pledge on the lens as well to help with moisture on the nose. Oh, I have since been and put a little bit of Velcro on the top to set the run cam on the top as well. We can see that we've got the Eagle Tree Vector back here. Now I have decided to put the Vector in the back rear compartment, and those of you which are in the Facebook group, you'll see that little plywood plate which I made for her too. Yes, that was probably a little bit overkill if I'm honest, but between me and you, this model needs a bit of tail weight, and I wanted something super simple, like super strong, was glued in there flat, and I can, because I'm using that resealable cable tie, is that I can take the Vector in and out at any point in time which I wish. So that's what I've been and done with the Vector. Oh, and I also did take out the bus lead out of the Mini Talon, thinking I was going to mount it somewhere else, and instead I've just used a short one. So hey ho. So into the wings, on the opposite side we've got an immersion RC video transmitter. The cables run all the way down here. One thing which really annoys me, I mean, I only just spotted this one yesterday where I was putting it all together. The hole which you cannot see on that wing to put the bolt down through, the bolt goes down through the servo line. So if you are not careful on that flight line, you could quite easily push one of the servo leads down and catch them up in the bolt. I do think that's definitely an area which could definitely be improved, because that is not ideal. I'm not impressed with that piece specifically, because it would be so easy for you to crush a couple of servo cables in there and then cause a short, and that would be... It's not something which you would look out for. I know what that is. I've been and crushed one of the servo wires, and you probably wouldn't be able to fix it on the flight line either. So yeah, that little screw hole to go all the way through down is not the best idea. What I've done on mine is actually I've in the wiring looms coming down through the wings, is that there's plenty of, like, I've left some heat shrink tubing in there, it just loose. In short, so I will make sure when I go to put this model together, I will pull the heat shrink tubing down so that if it does go down, it will just push it out of the way. A little thing on there. Servos, the Corona 939 digital servo ones. The whole system is actually running on 6 volts, not 5 volts, because I've got a 6 volt BEC, which is sat up in there on the side. And again, the tail servos. I do have a few things to finish off this morning. I'll quickly go through my to-do list. There's the rear shot of it, and again you can see the great big hole in the back of it. I don't understand why that is, in short, and if I'm honest, I'm not 100% sure on this plastic piece at the back, because it's 2 halves. It feels like it needs something to hold it together, and this morning I'm actually going to put some glass fiber tape over the top, and I know that's not ideal because it reacts to UV light and then it goes to crap, but at least I know I've got glass fibers in there and it's all going to hold still. It probably won't come off. I'm just paranoid, and what I will end up doing it later is in that hole I'll probably set it up so that I can put a 1.3 3S battery in there, so I'll be able to power LED strip lights in here, and I've also been and fitted a strobe on the top as well. Well, obviously got on the, yeah, there's the L9R, different shot from that side, and yeah, there's the Sunny Skies. Yeah, I think they're 22X2214 or something motors on them. Yeah, huge, great big motors, and there's my little run cam on the front as well. And again, what I could do later is maybe if I do like a pan one on the top, I can have a HD camera running in the front later if I so wish. And it would have been really nice if XUAV included a spare little triangle of foam as well. So yeah, she is absolutely bonkers in just in size. Trying to get it out the door of the office when it's all made up is just huge. And I was in, and I may actually do this depending on which car I can get access to do. I may actually make her up here and then put her in the car whole to save some time on the flight line, because I know it's 1.8 meters long, but it will save some time trying to get the servo leads down through the wings into the main area. And yeah, my label printer, I've run out of I don't know if you ever used one of those, brilliant tool, but I've run out of the label inside. So all I've done is just got a little bit of masking tape, and I've just folded it over and written like S-Bus, video, audio, and RSSI on the little cables inside. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Yes, you absolutely are right. Whoever's just said disco time in the chat, which I kind of half saw. Yes, Anthony. Yes, absolutely. And again, once we've got the Maiden and over and done with, then I'll go and put that S-Bus to PWM converter in her as well, so that we can have like a toggle switch to flick through some of the LED light patterns, for example. And again, we'll do it on the top and the bottom as well. That would be pretty cool. And then we can also change the pattern on the strobe or strobes, because if she does fly well, I will pop another 2 or 3 strobes on her as well, so out on the wings and stuff like that. So let me just quickly go back to my to-do list. Now, let me, right, control linkages need to be centered and locked in. So I've done the ailerons are done. I still need to put on the clamps, which are just here for the VTOL. So I need to get that done this morning. Yeah, change the 2 ESC wires from both motors and spinning backwards. That was really frustrating. Chances of getting them both in the wrong direction are quite high, apparently. Yeah, set the brake on the ESCs and calibrate the ESCs have also been done. I've tidied up the wiring inside to a certain degree, but it still needs a little bit more work just to tidy it up in there. I can't help it, it's just who I am. I found one glass fiber rod to push the servos in, so that will have to do for today. I fitted the strobe on the top as well. Make sure the wing bolts fit in. Yeah, I need to find the wing bolts. They are here somewhere. Yeah, Velcro fuse the batteries I've done. A little tip for you, in the main fuse, I've done about 1 inch apart lines of Velcro. So instead of just putting like 2 big thick strips of Velcro in there, I've done lines so that I actually stand a chance of being able to unpeel the battery later without ripping up the floor inside. And those of you which don't know, I have put like a plywood inner plate to the inside of the fuse. Yeah, I've just done like it's about 1 inch wide Velcro, and I've done it about every inch gap, so that I can then, the battery goes in there and stays still, but I can easily peel it back out at a later date. There's a big plastic skid to go on the bottom. I've just taped that on there for now. Dirty, but it will work. And yeah, I've also, remember one of the DW Hobby wings, I decided that one of them was far beyond repair, so I've got some spare EPP foam, and I've cut out the weird little shape to go in the back. That'll be fine for now. There's no tape needed on it. It's not going to pop out because I cut it too big and just squashed it in. Looks kind of nice for now. And the last thing which I'll be doing this morning is just quickly mocking her up and just checking on that C of G again. I know where the C of G point is, but as always, if you're going to go out and Maiden a model, always make sure, if you're in any doubt at all, make it a little bit nose heavy. Okay, not like it hits you in the knackers, but just a little bit nose heavy, just to be on the safe side, because remember, a nose heavy plane is much easier to handle than a tail heavy model. And if you consider the amount of hours which I've put into this model already, I will definitely be making a nose heavy. I can always go backwards later, but I don't want to be picking up chunks of foam from the flight line, because Matt will not be a happy boy if he stuffs this one in, put it that way. So yeah, Cloud's Maiden Day today. Oh, and a re-Maiden for the, remember, turn that volume down. Wombat! with the new motor on the top. It's looking good. Once I've got this, I have unfortunately had to put a little bit of lead on the nose to get the CG right, because this motor is considerably bigger than the last one, and I have had to turn the motor mount around as well, so it's back forwards a bit. So yeah, if this motor works great, which I'm sure it will do, and if it's up to my standards of speed, yeah, I will dig down in the fuse a little bit more and make it fit in there as well. Brilliant. So on that note, I'm just keeping an eye on the chat on the left-hand side. Yes, Anthony, Wombat, indeed. So yeah, the weather here in Bristolia, in the United Kingdom, just across the pond from many of you over in the United States, looks like, ooh, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees. And if you don't understand Celsius, that is code for fucking freezing, because it is very cold here at the moment. So it will be 2 t-shirts, 2 hoodies, a coat, a pair of jogging bottoms, pair of jeans, at least 2 pairs of socks, and some thermal boots, and definitely some gloves, and my thermal little transmitter mitt as well, with the heaters in the back, so we can sit on the flight line in some kind of luxury in the freezing cold, what is basically winter here in the United Kingdom. So those of you which are in Australia or in the southern hemisphere who are enjoying a summer, this is what our winter looks like at the moment. But on the bright side, 5 miles an hour wind, so great day for doing a maiden, and also some decent sunshine as well. So I couldn't have ended up picking a better day for doing a maiden on, by the looks of it. It's just going to be a little bit crispy out there, because coming out to the office this morning, the ground is absolutely frozen. I can see all the cars are frozen up as well. So yeah, Friday 5 degrees. It's always like a heat wave here in the United Kingdom. But on the bright side, it should start warming up, where as soon as the sun comes out, we noticed it about 2 weeks ago when we were on the flight line. It was absolutely frozen, and the ground was white. But by the time we left, we were just rotating ourselves. We were off flying, and we found ourselves just rotating ourselves into the sunshine, because it was like warm on one side and cold on the other. So happy days, happy days. So yeah, just Britain, cold and rainy, but no rain. Look, no rain for a couple of days. How brilliant is that? Brilliant that. And I'm sorry to hear it's raining in Canada as well, Ref. Brilliant. Got -9 here in Vienna. Jeez, Thomas. That is burr. That is very burr. Sorry, I'm just looking at your chat going on in the background. And by the way, you can see the chat above my head as well. Windy in Melbourne. Jake. It's summertime. It's a little bit of wind. Flying it anyway. Anyway, right, to recap our topics for today's RC Coffee Chat. Cobra motors from AliExpress. Brilliant. Super impressed with that. I wouldn't put... if I needed another one, I would go there again without reservation. Great communications from them, and it was literally here in no time at all. Super impressed. If the wife asks, I didn't buy that F22. Not me. It just turned up here. Someone must have sent it to me. And the main topic for today was the Clouds Maiden, and I think we should leave ourselves with that photograph just there. She does look absolutely amazing. I do have a little bit more work to get on and done with her this morning, but she is very, very, very close. I will go back and just check over the receiver settings via the computer to the Vector this morning, and frankly honest, I might even leave the USB lead, just a little reusable cable tie floating around in the back as well, because it's a right pain in the rear to get it plugged in from the side. But anyway, yeah, there she is. She does look absolutely amazing, and I am leaving or reserving final judgment on her until we get her up in the sky, because it looks absolutely fantastic. There are some challenges around the whole model as a whole. Those of you which are thinking about this model, I would definitely say that you need quite a lot of previous modeling experience to get a model like this to the flight line. in more ways than one. Each part has been an individual challenge to get there. I'm also, the EPO foam, a little bit, which annoyed me a little bit, was the EPO foam won't, if you use goop plumbing glue on it, it will melt the EPO glue. So that's why I have a major reservation over this tail section. If I'd use goop glue to fix those two plastic joints in, I would have no reservations at all, because I know the foam would break before the glue broke. But instead, I've had to use Yoo-Hoo Piss Poor on there, and I'm not 100% confident about that glue. So like I said, I will put some glass fiber tape over there. But all that aside, it does look absolutely fantastic, but it's got to fly well. That's the ultimate goal of each model. Like I said, we don't have any wall hangers here. They must be flying models, or two, like I've got two, you can probably see them back there, it's a pair of Tetsumos. They're more like, for me, they're more like summer models. They feel like summer models. They look like summer models. And I haven't flown them in ages, but I'm not chucking them in the bin or sending them off to a new home because I'll end up flying and ragging the nuts off them in the summer. So on that note, by the way, I will not be doing live FPV from the flight line today. I do have what Andrew sent me, that USB UVC little connector. I do have 3 other modules here for me to try as well. I can get it up on the screen, which is the main thing. So yeah, we will do that at a later date. Today, my hands are just full on the flight line with this one. And also, I haven't been flying for a couple of days as well. I've been flying the little rainbow, that little 600mm rainbow wing out the front. So that's kind of like kept me at bay. But I haven't done any FPV, anything in a couple of days. So, well, in about a week, to be fair. So I am going to go out and I'm going to take full advantage of very little wind, sunny sunshine, and what looks like a really good day out there, and we'll get the Maiden done. So on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining today's RC Coffee Chat. If you are not in the Facebook group, again, a shameless plug, the link to the Facebook group is in the video description for you. Hit the join button on the right hand side and you can join in with the after party to the RC Coffee Chats. Again, if you've got any questions for myself, or you're stuck, or just want to show off your latest build, stick it in the Facebook group. And also, if you found this episode by accident and you're not already subscribed, underneath this video, there's a big red button which said next to Matthew Ogborn. Click on the red button, press the little bell icon, and you'll be notified the second the next episode is out. And on that note, if you are out flying today, have fantastic fun. And if you're not out flying, the clouds will be flown for you. And I would say I put a battery in there, and I'm going to stick a great big battery in there for you today. And the Wombat, she will be spanked across the flight line today. On that note, so whether it's good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're, good night in the case of Jeff, thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. And tomorrow, if you're only just watching these episodes on YouTube, you will find out how the Maiden went. If you're in the Facebook group, I will be posting pictures and updates in the Facebook group later this afternoon, and you will find out firsthand how the Clouds does, and you'll also find out firsthand how the, wait for it, Wombat does with her new motor as well. So on that note, I really am going out. Thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat, and I'll see you about the same time tomorrow. So for myself, Matt, cheerios!